look at some of the new spaces you'll be planning on building, some of you already building, and think about bringing your business here. Next, we also think you should be marketing Nutley to the general public. Part of the marketing to retail is you can take some of those vacant spaces and dress them up. There's a campaign that we've done in several communities. I think that's in Jersey City. That's a building that we dressed up. You see it before up top, and then after, we took an image of the kind of business we were looking for, especially a clothing store, and we blew it up. We created decals that were applied to the inside of the glass, together with an image of a woman from the business improvement district there, with her name and phone number, and saying, boy, we'd love to have your business like this here. And at night, that gets lit up from behind. So it's very bright and visible, and it was a very successful way of getting that space built. Not that you have problems filling spaces, but it's a neat way to treat your vacancies so they don't look like vacancies. And so it looks like, boy, this town's got a plan. This town has really got their stuff together. Okay, next. So finally, we urge you, regardless of what you do, whatever you decide to do after you read through our report and our recommendations, we would encourage you to continue on the path we have started with the creation of the EDAC and with this analysis that you've had us do. This is exactly what towns should be doing. Not many towns do it, because they never had to. This is a new thing. If you expect your retail community to be competing head-to-head with the malls, the shopping centers, the online, all of that that's out there, that they have to fight for their dollars for it to make it. And we think you have to be proactive in it. You have to lead the way. You have to help them through it, to market the town. And, you know, we think you're on the right track, and we just encourage you to do more. So with that, any questions? I apologize for so long.
Mark, thank you. I heard it before, and it's worth hearing again. And you probably need to reflect and read through this several more times to really get the essence of it. So one, I want to thank you for the work that you've done. I think that the data that you've pulled together, you've created, it's scientific, it's reliable, it's attractive to others that would want to use that, which is going to help us on our journey to improve. You've given us a range of recommendations. Some of them seem like they're probably on the easier side. Some of them probably we're going to need to talk about for a little while before we get comfortable. And I think you were right in pointing that out. I feel like that we're not done, right? Because we're looking forward to your report, but you've given us a sense of what the challenge is in front of us, but more importantly, you've given us a better sense of what the opportunity is in front of us. If we're just willing to be a little courageous and go after it. So I appreciate all of that. You and I talked before, so I'm going to leave the questions. Should we make commissioners?
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Tucci?
I have no questions at this point. I want to thank you for throwing out some of those wilder ideas. Just to get us thinking outside of our comfort areas.
Okay.
But much of what you presented, I think, is very worthwhile. And I think, again, upon further investigation and reviewing this several more times, at least for myself, and understanding it in greater depth, I think it's going to be very helpful for us. And I thank you for that. And the entire Economic Development Advisory Committee, I think you guys did a great job. And I think this is a great first step.
Thank you, Commissioner Schwartz.
Yes, Mark, thank you. I think did a great job focusing on some of our strengths and focusing on some of our weaknesses. You've given us some low-hanging fruit that I think we can go after. I have one question.
Sure.
The 61% that never shopped here.
Yeah.
Never shopped where? Is that retail? Is that any
In Nutley. Yeah, the question was, how often do you shop in Nutley? And then separately we asked, how often do you dine? 61% of the people who shop less than one time a month said, but went further to say, I never shop there.
I think, like, the top of my head, I can't believe that 61% of people never shop.
It's not 61% of all their residents. It's 61% of the people who shop less than once a month. That's a fascinating point. I think you're right. I think certainly most of the residents must shop at ShopRite. It's far too convenient. There'd be no reason to go elsewhere. For some reason, when they answer that question, they disqualify that. They were, you know.
That just jumped out at me. That's why I wanted to ask that question.
Yeah. But that, you know, we were fine with that anyway, because really, I think you should try to divorce standard grocery shopping from retail
I
shopping.
agree with you. I just that's what
No, fine. That's a good point.
shop was. And I like your recommendation for this improvement district. I know we've tried that in the past. Never seems to get any footing.
It's controversial.
I think it's definitely worth pursuing. And just for my colleagues, I thought the one very, very interesting thing was that our biggest competition is Clifton Commons. And I think as we go forward with the Roche site, we need to keep that in mind.
Mr. Rogers?
Mark, thanks for all your work and obviously the Economic Development Committee put a lot of work into this. What I'm impressed about tonight is that we have facts. Unfortunately, people tend to draw conclusions about their communities and whatever based on speculation, based on not being informative. And they run with these things. Unfortunately, it's like wildfire. People get into a panic. What are we going to do for our community 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Tonight, through this briefing, you put all that to rest, at least most of it in mind. So I appreciate that. And now we have the facts. We have a good start. I think it's a great start to move forward. And that's what I got out of this. I'm going to look at this and absorb it, and I appreciate it because you were very factual. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'd like to thank you myself, Mark. I think it was, I enjoyed the time you spent also. And I'll tell you, the thing that strikes me that I think you're spot on with also was the old Franklin Theater, movie theater that we will miss so much. I was at up in Morristown they have that theater up there for my kids to see, what was that big show, let's see,
Frozen?
the guy from Hoboken, the Cakewalks. So, long story short, the theater really brought a lot of people to that area, and then afterwards, of course, we grabbed dinner and all that stuff. So, I really think that how you attract people here through events is really, really very important element to the success of bringing people from other communities in. I think it's a great idea what we have for the Oval. I love the ice skating rink idea too. You know, and it's really thinking outside the box. And as you touched upon, you know, is how do you attract the younger, yuppie kind of kids here. The strange thing happened in my own store the past few months. I had a friend of mine came in there and asked me to do him a favor. There's a beekeeper in Nutley now. They make honey. So I really thought I was doing the guy a favor, and I really wanted to take a couple of cases of honey from, you know, Nutley beekeeper. I figured that I was going to be eating it all. You know, and oddly enough, it's items that are like that. I can't keep it in the store. I was amazed. You know, and it's gravitated me to do other things on that kind of a marketplace. And, you know, I encourage all those Nutley business owners too, you know, to try to reinvent themselves, you know, diversify a little bit, get different items in their store. But, you know, your presentation really made me think of what do we need here. You know, it made me excited. It really has. And I want to dig into this report and maybe, you know, open up another business and see what the needs are. So I think it's really exciting news. I hope this is only the beginning of this because I would really, really like to see this through because I really think there's a lot of positive news coming out of your report and it has me very excited to see what Nutley could be in the future. I appreciate your hard work and I like to play Mark too. You know, I know we're approaching the 10 o'clock hour here and everybody wants to leave. No, but I have to tell you, you're passionate for your role here, and you know we really appreciate you here at Nutley because we really strive to be the best.
All right, thank you.
So thank you so much for your time.
Again, thank you.
Okay, with that being said, I think we did not open the public portion of the meeting yet. That'll be our last night. Is there anyone here this evening that would like to address the Board of Commissioners? Please state your name and address for the record.
Michael Israel, 133 High Street.
Mike, please back up front of the mic for your earphones.
Michael Israel, 133 High Street. I read in Northern New Jersey, over the Nutley Sun, on April 21st, Tuesday night, at that BLC meeting coming up, you guys are going to approve the new budget. And what I read in the article was that our property taxes are going to go up 2.6% more. Can you answer that question, or Commissioner Evans can answer that one?
I'll turn that over to Commissioner Evans.
There will be a rate increase, yes.
And it's going to be 2.6%?
I don't recall the percentage off the top of my head, but yes, it sounds familiar.
Okay. I would like to know, the reason why, is one of the reasons why our property taxes are going to go up 2.6%, does it have to do with the town employee wage increases that went into effect January 1st, 2015? Did that contribute to it? Sure.
Overall, that percentage increase, the most significant portion of that increase is a lower rateable base to spread the cost over. Our budget, in fact, if you look at the municipal budget, the levy has gone down for the second year in a row. It's down $166,000. It was down $500,000 last year. The reason why the rate is going up is not because we're spending more money. It's because the rateable base is getting smaller and we're spreading the cost over fewer places to go. So with a smaller share of the road property right now, rate to spread those costs over, rate is going up. And it's a simple calculation that basically says if you take the money that you need to use, divide that by the total rateable base, I get a rate. If the numerator, which is the total rateable base, goes down, the rate goes up. And that's what we're in the middle of right now.
Okay. Well, this goes back to something the gentleman before me said for Mark. He mentioned two words. He mentioned the greatest generation in his presentation. And one thing I do remember about the greatest generation was the men who sacrificed their lives on the beaches of Iwo Jima, Normandy. They didn't sacrifice their lives so decades later, our own town, city, and state government probably taxes us out of our own homes that we worked so many years to own. And what I'm trying to get at is, the things you do here in this chamber affect us homeowners and affect the businesses to the point that we have to do this. I mean, the majority of expendable cash that I have is spent paying tax burdens that I could be spending in stores in this town.
Mike, do you have a question for the Board of Commissioners?
No, that's my statement.
Okay.
Thank you.
But I just want people to realize that on April 21st, our property taxes are going to be raised again.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else this evening that would like to address the Board of Commissioners? Seeing no one?
Move to adjourn.
Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans? Commissioner Scarpelli? Mayor Petracco?